What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Polymer Dynamics, Polydyn TX7. It's the same company, two different products. So they are coated my wheels for me, and this is, obviously a major upgrade because I want my wheels to be white. But we're gonna learn about what makes this company unique in terms of their coatings and what kind of stuff that they offer the public. So they have lots of different things. They have coatings, they have dry film lubricant, and I'll be honest, I'm not 100% well versed in everything they do. So we're gonna chat with Carl, the owner and brains behind the operation, and find out exactly what goes into this process, the chemical components, the chemistry, and that sort of stuff. So you can see I got my wheels done. They came out beautiful. And I also got some turbo parts done. This is my intake tube and some charge pipe, and they've got some fancy coatings on the inside and out. And so we're gonna figure out exactly what's going on behind the scenes here and get some education on the process. We are hanging out now with Carl. His background is in chemistry and engineering, and he's also the owner of Polydyn TX7. And he's gonna go through all the ins and outs of what's going on with our products here and everything like that. So thanks for having us, Carl.
Hey, glad to have you today.
Yeah. And thank you for the support, as always, of course.
Sure.
Let's start with the wheels here. This is not your traditional powder coat.
No.
Tell me about what we got.
Very thin film, industrial finish called aliphatic urethane.
Aliphatic urethane.
Yeah.
I can't even spell that.
That's a mouthful, isn't
Yeah.
it? Used quite extensively in the chemical plants. Used outside because it has tremendous UV protection, very chemical resistant, saltwater resistant. So you've got a coating on your wheels now that lasts most likely longer than hitting a wall.
Yeah, longer than the car is what he's trying to say nicely. But he knows me well enough to know that I needed the toughest stuff, right? So.
That's right. That's what we're good for.
Very cool.
It's helping you with your durability, and then we get into efficiency also.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need for sure. And I'm an efficiency nut too. When I'm at home working on my car, I'm always trying to figure out the easiest, quickest, and most efficient way to make the job finish. So
this new motor coming up is going to be a real animal.
Yeah,
so you're going to have fun with it.
I'm very excited. If you're not aware, we're building a new motor. It's a new 2J for my car, and Polydyn has come on board to help coat the internals. The whole build is going to be through and through as best as I can do it. So let's chat about some of those things. We've got a piston here.
This is a diesel piston, but we're going to be doing the same thing to the pistons in your 2JZ motor.
Okay.
We've got a synthetic polymetric ceramic, thin film, but highly efficient at reflecting destructive heat. So we won't anneal the piston. It will also help with flame propagation, so it'll burn the fuel more effectively. And then we've got a dry film lubricant coating that'll keep the piston from doing something terrible like that.
Oh.
Black death, and that's a galled up piston. So with a coating for Polydyn on the skirts, never have it. In fact, here's a Jack Roush Trans Am Ford Mustang piston. That piston ran 9 endurance races, and you can see
that's unbelievable.
Everything's in great shape. It's got the ceramic on the top. There's a tiny bit of carbon, and it doesn't want to stick very well. It flakes off. But this is the amazing part. There's no heat. There's no burnt oil underneath. So it's very effective in reflecting that heat.
That's amazing. So for everyone at home who's not familiar with this stuff, that was maybe a little over your head, but if you are familiar with building engines and you've taken one apart, you know exactly how impressive that is. That's unreal that it doesn't have a bunch of hot spots or anything like that. So let's chat about the turbo here.
The turbo.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Well, there's one thing about your motor. It wants some air, and it wants lots of air. And a turbocharger, that's its function. So inside the turbocharger, we put a coating called Super Slick.
Okay.
And it's a nylon composite coating, and it alters the boundary layer of air. So this housing will flow 7 to 9% more air, and then we put a ceramic coating on the outside to keep radiant heat, so the cool the air off going inside the turbo.
Right, and especially like in this area, this is where the turbo manifold, the hot side of things are. So getting heat out of this is super important. Now, I'm curious because I want to know, and something, of course, any turbo manufacturer is probably panicking about, is if you start to coat the inside, right, how much thickness does it add? Because the tolerances are very, very tight.
Right.
So
well,
tell me about that.
we're very aware of tolerance issues. And,
of course.
In fact, we could actually coat the compressor wheel and the housing, and it'll tighten it up close to 0. But as long as nothing touches, the tighter you get it, the higher the boost goes, and the better the efficiency.
Okay.
The coating is only like 1.5 thousandths thick.
Oh wow!
It's
So
very, very thin.
basically nothing.
Basically nothing.
Yeah.
We've even taken care of one of your air tubes on your intake manifold. Ceramics on the outside, the slicks inside.
Okay.
So it'll really be quite unusual how we managed to pick up the efficiency of the motor, and you'll know it from throttle response.
Right. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a really crisp, sharp throttle response. You know, my Zona Turbo already is properly sized for the engine, and then anything more that I can get from that, from a coating, is unbelievably.
It's a bonus.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A bonus. Here's another real big aspect. This is Polydyn DL bearing coating, a dry film lubricant that's wettable by oil. So oil sticks to this bearing like crazy.
Okay.
You'll never have one of these bearings latch onto the journal of the crank. Here's how durable it is. This is a big 18-wheeler Cummins rod bearing. It's got 500,000 miles on it, and you could put it right back in.
Oh my gosh.
Normally they barely make 175,000, and then they got to be replaced. But there's so many other things. I know that we got a new crank coming from CP.
Yep.
We're going to be putting this coating on the counterweights and on the connecting rods. Got some killer Corello rods coming.
Yep, exactly.
And that'll change the parasitic drag on the rotating assembly.
Okay.
So the motor will RPM quicker once you hit that throttle.
Perfect. So all good things, and it's pretty reasonably priced. If you guys want to look into it, let me know, and I'll put the links in the description below. You guys can check them out. But overall, for not a lot of money, you get quite a bit of gain, and it's something that is on the car already. Like this turbo manifold or turbo housing, right? There's not really an upgrade to be made until you do a coating like this, and then you can start seeing horsepower, throttle response, heat dissipation, all those things. All good things.
There's a lot of stuff there that you just said that people never really focus on.
Right.
And to have that bonus in your motorsports program, I can't wait to see you get after it again.
Yeah, and especially what I love is the durability and reliability, because that's what I need, right? As hard as I am on things, this right here, not only is it obviously a benefit and an upgrade, but it also will give me more confidence in my equipment and allow me to push even harder to run that extra 10% and be able to know that my car is going to hold up to it without any catastrophic failures.
Well, that attitude change right there moves you up a notch or two, and I've seen that on many of my customers when I explain to them exactly what they're getting, and all of a sudden their confidence level goes up. With that, the performance overall, the program improves.
Exactly. Mechanical sympathy is not something any race car driver wants to have, but unfortunately you have to. So being able to kind of dial that back a bit and be more aggressive is always a good thing, especially in drifting, right? So
there you go.
All right. Well, thank you again for the continued support.
Glad to see you.
I appreciate it. These will be on my car for Drift Week, so you guys will get a full, honest, unbiased test. And I'm definitely going to give it hell and make sure that we put a full test on it, and I'll let you guys know. I'll report the details back.
Super.
Just so you guys know too, I'm running the TX7 liquid product line as well. It's a dry film lubricant. Why don't you take us on the other side of the shop and we'll chat about that a little bit.
Sure, let's go.
All right. All right, now we're in the TX side of this business. So it's kind of two different businesses under one house. They've got the consumer level stuff, which is all of these additives for your engine, transmission, and so forth. And then they've got the coating side, which we just looked at. So tell me a little bit about what we've got going on here and the science behind it. I use this product in my car, truck, daily, everything, and I've had great results for a little over a year now. But we need an expert to explain exactly what's going on.
I'm gonna tell you a little history real quick.
Okay.
Look at this picture.
All right.
This is Walt Smolinski, and that's the IROC cars. And they became highly infatuated with TX, and that's their old bottle. Yeah. And they used the product for 17 straight years. Never blew up an engine.
Wow.
That was the coolest thing.
That's unreal.
And they had 12 different drivers, so you never knew who was going to be behind the wheel.
No kidding.
They were extremely aggressive guys.
And just so y'all notice, there's a ton of amazing history just in this room alone. All of these drivers, cars, all run TX7 or have in the past. And now I got to get a picture of my car up here now that I'm running it too.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so what we got in front of us here?
Well, anyway, here's our number one product, TX7 engine treatment. This is the first one I developed. Man, I found out the other day, almost 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And we've been just having a blast with it. And goes into virtually any engine. And what it does is it will improve the film strength of the oil under high heat and high load, so the engine will run better, but it'll cut the wear inside the motor down to practically nothing. We've utilized Caterpillar soluble wear metal test on the oil, and we found out that with constant use of the product, we can reduce the wear in an engine as far as 90%. Hard to believe.
That is.
And
that sounds like fake numbers there,
does,
but at least you did a real test to do it.
Real world test, as far as I'm concerned, is bona fide test.
Agreed.
And what you do is the best test.
Yep.
Yeah.
The extreme to the max.
Yeah. And then we've got a new product, and we call it the 75,000 mile treatment. And I was very intrigued by a major oil company when they came out with a 75,000 mile oil. Looked into why they did it, made perfect sense. And so I got with the company that made the ingredient to make it a 75,000 mile product.
Okay.
And it wasn't working TX7. But those guys were so determined to come up with the ingredient that I was looking for that they did the development, they did the testing. Wow. I got the results, and all I could say is, wow.
Nice.
This one almost could be called a racing version. This is what we put in your race car because it has even higher properties than what's in the red bottle. So higher load bearing, higher temperature stability, even better lubricating qualities. It's got a fluoropolymer in there that burnishes in the motor, and once it burnishes, then it attracts oil to itself. So it's like a double barrel shotgun, and the end results are just fantastic. We've got a product for an automatic transmission.
Yep. That's going in my truck.
We developed it on a dirt car with a power glide. They're super hard on the transmission. And man, it just stopped the wear tremendously. So we've had a lot of good feedback, especially on the valve body function.
Okay.
Then we've got a one here we call the power steering additive. And sometimes you run across a power steering that's real notchy and doesn't want to loosen up. Well, that's the valve body in the power steering unit that hasn't lubricated sufficiently. Put 4 ounces in the reservoir of the power steering unit. The notchiness, the steering gets so smooth it's unreal.
Nice.
We even have one for the differential. No, that's the manual transmission, and here's one for the differential. So Polydyn TX7 additives cover the full gamut of enhancing the durability and performance of all the different lubrication systems in the automobile, and you've already got to experience it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got it in your tow truck too. Heck yeah, man.
Everything.
It just makes it run so much smoother and so much more efficient.
Right, exactly. So better gas mileage, less wear and tear, smoother drive, more horsepower if that's what you need, and all that stuff. So to kind of break this down and explain it, it's a additive for anything basically, but they all kind of hold the same basic properties of that TX7.
Yes.
It basically attracts to the metal, and then it pulls oil molecules
to itself.
Okay.
So it holds the oil film so much better and enhances the film strength, and which is really important to keep the two pieces of metal from touching each other. So it's really, really an incredible investment, a small investment to protect, whether it be your race car motor or your truck to get where you got to go. So daily drivers,
or your daily with 200 and something thousand miles on it, because we're spending money on the race car instead of a daily.
Well, with this product in the oil, you got some peace of mind.
Right, exactly. And so one thing I want to say to all the audience at home is, in the past there have been a lot of snake oils, additives, all kinds of stuff that people tried to sell or did sell. They did great marketing, all that sort of stuff. So, for those at home who might be thinking that right now, this is not the case. He is a professional engineer and chemist. He's been doing this for 30 plus years. This product definitely works, but you can try it out for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. If you guys want a sample, reach out to me. I'd be happy to you know, make sure that you guys put it to the test on your own. And then when you're a believer, then it's a way cheap investment for your multiple $1,000 motor. Well, we're gonna put some on my website too.
Good.
And then they can get it straight from me and not have to worry about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Support the racer here.
That's right. That's right. And if you guys are in Houston, you know, they sell it here as well. They retail it at the store. Stop by. I'm sure Carl will love to chat your ear off and show you all the cool stuff in person, and you get a good real world idea and leave with some product that you can believe in.
Good deal.
Hell yeah. All right. Back for me, I've got to head back to Austin, get back to Drift Week Prep, but I appreciate all the info and the support, and we'll see you on Drift Week.
Glad to have a fellow Texan on the team.
Damn right.
Yep.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for watching. And like I said, reach out if you want any of this stuff, and I'll be happy to spread the love. And if not, be looking out for the updates on Drift Week. We're going to put all that stuff to the torture test and make sure that it holds up.
And fielding comes on top. You know why. One of the reasons why.
That's right.
Talented driver with lots of confidence.
That's right. All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Have a great day.
And now that you guys know what goes on behind the scenes, they are offering a special right now. There's some white paint left over from my job, so we're offering a deal. Anyone who wants to come and get their wheels coated, 90 bucks a wheel for the next 30 days or until the paint's gone, for anybody out there who wants to reach out. So if you guys want to hit up Polydyn, you can find them online. You could look in the link in the description below, or you can contact me if you need to. But yeah, 90 bucks a wheel for the shredder special. Just let them know you heard about it from this video, and they will hook you up the same process. It's a full process. They strip the wheel, they make sure it's you know, got everything ready to go. They tape it off and mask it as needed, and then coat it in this special polymer coating that we know will hold up even better than powder coat. So it's cheaper than powder coat and better than powder coat. Can't beat that. Make sure you guys jump on it if you want to get some as well. They do custom colors if you wanted something else. It won't be for that 90 bucks a wheel. That's just a promotional thing right now because they have some product left over from my job. But you know, they can do that like as well. So if you guys want that, just let them know, and then you guys can work out a price on that. But yeah, 90 bucks a wheel, white wheels, ready to go.